Do you eat genitals? Why am I asking that question? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Mighty Nine. We're on season 1, episode 7, which is called Belonging. So in the last episode, we had our team go on their very first quest. It was, in aid of them trying to figure out this overarching issue of why they're being framed for what happened, at the carnival. And then, of course, we know that there's Bo who's trying to figure out a larger plot point. But either way, they needed to get their hands on a more immediate problem, which is making sure that Caleb is not constantly targeted, by the Volstruckers. And that quest got a few new developments. We see that finally, maybe Caleb and Bo are kind of finding some understanding after all of this. And we see that Ford came across some type of artifact that seems to be something that Yucatoa wants more so than Ford. But either way, they did manage to just get through that quest. I mean, it was very much by the skin of their teeth. And they're headed back to Zadash. And we also know that, is it Yasha? Is that her name? I believe. Anyways, the very badass warrior is also on her way to Zadash as well. So I think we probably have some interesting encounters, if not hijinks, in store for this episode. So I'm ready to jump in. Let's do so. Just before I do, please do hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. Thank you so much for all the comments, critters. You guys have been helping out a lot. I appreciate it very, very much. And also remember, you can catch the uncut version of this reaction on my Patreon. All right, that out of the way. Let's get into the episode right now.
For the crime of perjury, false imprisonment, and violent assault against an archmage of the Cerberus Assembly.
Damn, sorry, girlies.
The Cobalt Soul was the last place that could stand up to him.
Even that was an illusion.
Not even a clean cut? With the blood spatter on the
Everyone
camera.
belongs to the master now.
You think so?
I hope you know I was merely the messenger in all this. The king said you had committed...
Clearly
treason.
needed you, otherwise that's why your nut's not on that pyre.
Trent Ickathon now has the Queen's most precious artifacts and the heir of the king. What will he do next?
Hopefully die.
Whatever I please, I imagine.
Good, get cocky.
The head of propaganda, the master of spies, somehow unlocks the greatest arcane secret in our life.
Does he?
Well, we all have our secrets, don't we?
Uh-huh. Watch yourself, sis.
Cross into mine again, Vess. You are a dead woman.
As long as you remember where you are to him, huh?
I'd like to see you fucking try.
Gauntlet laid, but I have a feeling you do not realize just how far that man will go.
I cast sight on Bren.
Oh,
Again?
honesty now.
Then we'll go tonight and deal with Bren permanently.
Kind of what I predicted, right? She looks like she wants to save Bren potentially, or maybe reason with him, because that was not a look of screw that guy, especially after we saw the way Aurelia responded to him. But we see that Edwulf is like, let's deal with him permanently, right? So I think that's why she hesitated to tell him initially.
Night is his compass. You actually did it.
We did. Give us our payment. Our boon.
And to you for being slightly less sweaty today.
What's
We
coming
will
up?
be taking our payment now.
Yes.
I may have a far more challenging...
Of course, you guys are now a
assignment for a group
hot
so
commodity.
uniquely gifted.
Not interested.
Exactly. We got things to do.
My sources tell me that
And he has your blood.
that Ickathon possesses a Kreen artifact, a valuable spoil of war. If you can deliver it to me, you will never have to work another
You
day.
want the beacon? Oh, you a greedy bitch. Although that will make things interesting if you get your hands on it. So
They told the king.
Evidence is nothing to an expert liar.
exactly.
We could weaken Transhold.
Fuck that.
You would have the entire continent on your ass, that's for sure. Well, she's right, but I think Dairon was smart enough to get the hell out.
We headed off as well.
Wait, what?
Oh, the man's breaking up, guys.
Yeah, it's been
Like,
interesting.
I gotta figure out what demon is possessing me, so. Aw. They actually are the besties, the best besties in this group so far.
I'll miss you, not the brave.
Hmm.
I'll never meet anyone weirder than you.
The thanks? Aw. Take the love. Take the love, Caleb. You're still getting a hug. Yeah, I don't think this breakup's gonna last long.
Sounds like a place in need of a Molly Mock tea leaf.
Not a Lucian.
Right?
I think it's best the past stay right where it is.
You don't seem to be in a hurry to find that out at all, are you?
We do not know them at all.
It's true.
Come.
You
Let's
know,
get
aspects
straight.
of them, but yeah, this was very much a, what do you call it? A group due to circumstance, circumstantial alliance.
But what about Trent?
Trent will kill us
He
all.
made you lose your powers. If we take him out, you can reach your full potential, right?
Oh, no. That would be a very Trent thing for you to do.
Why not just go like the others? You
Oh.
do not need me. I will only bring you danger.
Oh,
I want to help you.
Caleb, don't do it.
Because we're friends.
She's emotionally attached, Caleb.
I guess I haven't been looking for ditches since that day at the pet shop.
It's true.
You've done that for me, Caleb.
Even drinking a little less.
Take your time. We'll go after Trent in the morning.
I feel like you're up to something, Caleb. Aw, not a kiss. Not really loves you. It's transference. I understand much more now why Caleb would want distance between himself and anyone.
Wir wissen, wo ist, alter Kamerad. Derjenige, der Mutter und Vater getötet hat.
Was that not you, though? Kinda.
Richtig. Ich habe sie getötet.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Ist derjenige, der Brenn getötet hat.
That is true. I will let you say that. He destroyed your innocence with no remorse.
Are you ready for one last adventure?
Oh, you're doing this as a self-deletion mission, huh?
Berat, please. It was the only way you could have known.
Take your beating. You kind of deserve it, friend. Sorry.
Handed the Empire our most sacred relic.
You did.
You started a war.
You did.
What could the Empire have given you to justify treason?
My mom.
Life.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
I can save her, Berat. Did she approve of this plan?
Of course not.
Of course not. She'll spare your life if you confess.
No, she won't. And honestly, this is definitely, if there was ever, oh no. Yeah, if there was ever a judgment that deserved a death sentence, I'd have to say it's this one. I can't even, I'm sorry, Essek, but a lot of people died because of what you did, like a lot.
You're saying goodbye?
He does have things to figure out.
I don't belong here. But you do. You deserve all the finest things.
Jester has been in one gilded cage. She does not want to go to another one.
I think maybe I should try to find my own way first.
That part is very true.
I will never forget you.
You certainly won't, because I'm fairly certain you'll be seeing her again very soon.
I miss you, Ford.
Can't go back home to her mom. He's basically the first friend she's made. But yeah, I do think he shouldn't do it alone, but I understand why he doesn't want to get Jester involved in whatever the hell that is.
Apparently, Trent used the weapon on the Cricks at the border.
A proof of concept.
Look at you, you're smart.
We do nothing. I only came to tell you to lay
Yeah,
low.
try not to die right
My
now.
cover's been blown. The curator was executed this morning.
Oh, damn.
They can't just kill
Yes, they
Solons.
can.
We have
They
to
did.
fight back.
We do not. Xenov said you haven't earned your staff yet. This one was mine.
Oh, she trusts you. You should have had your staff already.
Thank
Gone.
you.
Like a ninja. I knew it. Yeah, I understand. Dairon's right. Without you can't even go close to Trent right now.
Friends come and go. But booze never leaves you high and dry.
It does. It destroys you slowly, but it does temporarily take the pain. I'll give you that. Love her. Learn to love her. Oh, not. Don't lick it off the floor, please. Oh, not. Girl, you gotta find your own reason to keep going, girl. Come on. Oh, so we're not quite as, done with the past as we said, huh?
What are you up to, Cree?
Didn't realize those cards were multi-purpose. Learned something. Molly, you could be walking directly into a trap, friend. So Molly is aware of how some of the powers work. Oh yeah, a lot of people died in here. Oh! Is this where you did the ritual Cree was talking about?
Thank you. I know how this sounds, but do gods speak to people?
Quite literally.
So if this protector wanted to contact their god, how would he do that?
Pray.
The gods often convey their purpose through the elements. Wind, fire, water.
Water.
Water?
Mm-hmm. As a side note, that priest was like the most lovable looking character we've seen in this series.
You're respectfully terribly filthy, and this is an establishment that I have to...
Is this Kronk? Thank you for doing it for us, since he was never going to do it.
And I am also Enchanter Pumatso.
Triplets?
And the three of us are what you would call magically manifested duplicates.
I need your best parchment and arcane ink. 150 gold worth, if that is not too much to ask.
Where's the cat going?
Pumat? Oh, thanks, Pumat. Oh, oopsie doodle. I got it.
Can you get your familiar under control?
Where were we?
Just the ink and paper, please.
Why is this cat just floating around and no one cares?
My consecution must be removed. I know, Laylas.
Wow.
Lied to me. He said you are not at court because you are traveling.
Please do not blame
To
him.
protect you?
Your son is brilliant, but his lack of
Intellectually.
faith concerns me. A devotee of the Luxon would never have misled his...
Yeah, he's not a devotee.
I'll arrange your execution.
So calmly. Well, I guess his mom's accepted her fate. It's just Essek who refuses to.
When I open my eyes, you better be standing right in front of me.
I too would like to see.
3,
If you're there.
2.
And your eyes half open. Where's your lack of faith? Or where's your faith, I should say. Even you don't have faith that the traveler's going to show up. Oh. Real emotion. Not the happy-go-lucky all the time. Oh, you're back. With your cult? Yikes. Really? Kree can't smell him? I just figure anything that's like half animal would have incredibly good smell. Call me crazy. That doesn't say welcome. Okay, you should just go right in. I mean, you are, part demon or whatever, so can't be any worse than what you probably are capable of, right? Oh, where's he getting his blood from? Oh yeah, he pricked his thumb. I forgot. Sorry. I thought maybe he was just sucking blood out of a random orifice. Should we be opening this? When we don't know what it... Okay, this could just be a doorway to hell. Oh, that's you. Oh, that's you.
Me?
I'm sorry, did you create a cult for yourself?
I will not be consecuted in a faith that demands ritual killings of its faithful.
And there it is.
I was so close.
But did
Why
she
tell them of your
want
sickness now?
to be saved?
Because I knew if I didn't, you would be lost beyond the reach of the Luxon forever.
And she has faith.
Return the beacon.
Mm-hmm, she knows. She didn't tell the queen everything.
To usher you from life.
I choose my son.
Whoa!
A great honor, Essek.
That might be pushing him a little too far. Making it your final request is crazy.
Every life is a chance to be a better person.
Where's the Luxem, though? The
Yours
beacon's
can
not
start
even here.
Now.
But she's supposed to end forever. That's fine.
I love you, my son.
If you loved him, you would not ask him to do this. If he had the faith, it'd be one thing, but he doesn't. It's a horrific final memory. Thanks. She's free now. Yeah, that's gonna bring something very deep in him. Look who has company. You willing to do the same for yourself, sis? That's what I thought. The hypocrisy. All right. Don't take the bait.
Take this outside.
Oh my God. I think she's flirting with you. That's what I thought.
Ugh, you fucking stink.
What? No, I don't. I just...
Maybe next time, cutie.
I agree. Hygiene is important, especially. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a goblin!
Okay.
It touched me!
Oh my God. Get over yourself.
Better call the Crown's Guard before I eat your cats and shadows.
What is that mix? Cats and... How do we get to that?
Hell, you heard her. You people mind your business. Piss off.
Yeah, Piss off!
That's not what she was trying to do, actually.
I was stupid. I'm a goblin. So I might as well act like one.
By whose standards?
Well, I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
You're not scary?
Yeah, this is
We
actually
don't
kind of
have
funny.
cats.
Do you eat genitals? Why am I asking that question?
Shouldn't you be in a feather bed somewhere, riding forward or something?
Maybe later.
I just have to call him properly. You want to come? It might get kind
It's
of
better than,
crazy.
getting drunk and rowdy in the streets
Can I
and
blow something up?
eating people's
Of course.
parts. Maybe it has to be ocean water? Find out. Oh, nope. Guess any water will do. Why'd you get naked, though?
More confident.
Hello?
It suits you. I have.
Actually, we didn't see a body.
I have these powers. And yet you've done so little with them. So what
Is
do you
this
mean?
Yukotoa using this as a medium to talk to him?
Where is your anger?
That's what it wants from you.
Seek. Learn.
I was right. Using familiar face to talk to him.
Consume. What do you want from me?
He told you already.
Consume what?
Okay, you don't have a one-word answer for the what? Oh, that's what I thought. It has to go in you. I'm sorry for it. How long were you under there, bro? You can breathe under there, so it's
What
fine.
the hell? You were drowning.
Why are you naked? Oh, he didn't actually. Okay, he didn't
What?
absorb it.
What is that thing?
Let's start talking, shall we? She does love to be an actress. This is right up Jess's alley.
She needs an exorcism.
Fuck your face, human flesh bag!
Everyone out!
That was so unnecessary.
That was impressive, puke not.
Hard-boiled eggs and moonshine.
Oh God, just hearing that, I want to be sick. Wow. How would you feel if someone did this to Traveler's actual temple, though? But I guess you'd be glad it's just a unicorn and not phalluses.
Sister, I brought. What the fuck?
Father. Okay. Oh, you fell for it. I love that her magic so far is so playful. Oh no, let's not. Oh, we weren't supposed to burn the place down. Our little sister troublemakers. Can't hate it. But maybe let's not desecrate other people's holy houses.
I'm a drunk who steals worthless stuff. Caleb rubs shit on his face. Ford can barely lift his own weight.
Oh.
We're all fucking crazy. The whole world's crazy.
Amen.
It's easier, I think, to be crazy around other crazy
I mean,
people.
this group's pretty crazy.
How I got like this?
Green.
No.
Hello? Whole species.
I don't know. All I do is punch people.
Well, you punch people well.
You feel like unless you're this total badass, people won't respect you.
You talking about him?
I don't know. You won't respect yourself either. Maybe I'm not as much of a hotshot at the soul as I said I was. Maybe I'm a huge fuck up.
Work in progress.
You think you're both the worst piece of shit and the shit at the same time. I hate to break it to you, but those two things can't be true.
Very true.
You didn't start a war.
Yeah, you didn't do that, girl.
You can't do anything alone.
Exactly.
What if we got this relic and stopped the war? Maybe we could prove that we're not...
A bag of idiots?
That. You're upset by the fact that you created a cult? It's okay. A lot of people do it. Just don't make people drink Kool-Aid or something.
If he's in Zadash.
Oh, come on. He'd be insane to come after Master Agathon.
You sure?
He is insane.
Yeah.
Remember?
Sanatorium and all. Spy. Very smart. Are people not allowed to freaking celebrate?
Du wirst langsam auf deine alten Tage brennen.
Thanks.
Are you here for him? For Master?
Ew.
Destroyed an entire Krieg army. And Empire citizens are next.
Like you know anything. You don't get to say things like that. You haven't been here.
Shut up.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, he's not scared to die.
We are giving you a life, Bren. A chance. We owe you one.
Really?
If we see your face again, we won't be so kind.
Okay. Guess that was good D you had back in the day.
All your talents. Running away was your best.
Oh, don't try to make him feel guilty, sis, because you didn't want to leave. And it made him crazy. So what more do you want? But yeah, I guess Bren had that good back in the day. Both of them still a little bit soft for him.
I assume Essek has told you everything that happened.
Not exactly, but yes.
And how dare you stand before me,
Huh?
cold as brass,
Huh?
as if you haven't betrayed your oath.
Huh?
To steal the beacon. How you conspired with the enemy to lead your soldiers into a battle you knew they would lose. Those brave.
You're okay.
He was the one who...
Wow, Essek, I was really trying to give you a chance, but you learning from Trent of all people.
Essek!
Okay, that will come back.
Luxon teaches us balance. Justice to counter injustice.
Really?
I'm glad to see your mother's loss has had a positive effect.
Oh no, she created a supervillain, make no mistake.
Bring our beacon and the souls of our people home.
I cannot wait for that to fail wildly for you, Essek.
You asked for a friend and I abandoned you. I am selfish, and I think maybe I am broken.
Mate? I mean...
Give up on revenge. We could try to find such peace again and be out of danger.
Oh,
That's a nice idea.
can't outrun this danger.
I was thinking, let's be motherfucking heroes.
Why not? Look at you and Ford on the same page.
What could the two of us do?
Well, you can start with showering. I found people! Haha.
One more thing.
A napkin?
Did you find anyone willing to steal the artifact?
Actually, I may have just the group of capable fools.
That makes sense. Her and Trent are basically two sides of the same coin. Oh! Oh! What did she just summon? The devil's in you, ma'am, quite literally. Those eyes look a lot like what we've got going on with Molly. As did that eye that showed up on her. Okay, so maybe Aor is yet another name for Molly? Possibly? I mean, we're learning that this world's pretty small here. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 7. And we had a little bit of a, we're going to keep up with my illustration of the storming, norming, performing. We were storming, we were starting to norm, and then we had a little bit of a setback. And that happens in these types of groups, right? Because as I mentioned in the episode, this is not a group that was formed because they all had one mission or even similar interests for that matter. It was literally a circumstantial alliance that allowed them to get through what they needed to get through. But we see that once they got what they needed, which in Caleb's case was the amulet, which is kind of late considering, but I guess he was kind of hoping that he hadn't been tracked in that time that he didn't have the necklace. But he got the necklace, and we see that, unsurprisingly, the gentleman wanted them to do a little bit more. Like the fact that they were able to get this compass, that my guess is that a lot of people have not made it, right? He said a lot of people have tried, they didn't make it. This group managed to pull it off, albeit very barely. And so now he's like, they just might be able to pull it off. Like, he doesn't know how they did it, how they got the compass, but if they were able to do that, they could probably handle something else equally as dangerous. And so, or maybe more so in this case. But anyway, he basically, he heavily suggested that they take on this gig, but of course he can't force them to do it. He still has their blood though, and I feel like that was not shown to us for no reason in the last episode. I do think if it came down to it, he can force them to do it, and I feel like that's what he's gonna do if they don't come back willingly, but he wanted to give them some time to marinate on it, especially with the promise of treasure, because let's face it, a lot of them in that group are actually just greedy. But anyway, as a result of them getting the initial quest done, we see that everyone kind of thinks, well, maybe we should just go back to what we were planning to do before all of this kind of brought us together, which makes sense because they all kind of individually have things that they should be looking at, with the exception maybe of Jess, right? Well, and not. True. Yeah. Those two probably are the only two that were truly meandering or just living life up until these things happened. But with Caleb, he had his revenge plot that was the whole thing. In his mind, he wants to do one last hurrah, make it a self-deletion mission where he just goes, takes out Trent, even if it means taking himself out in the process. I mean, he also believes he wants to go out. We already talked about that a lot 2 episodes ago when we found out why Caleb is like this. But yeah, that's kind of what he thought he needed to finish up. And then you have Ford, who's still very much trying to figure out what the heck is going on with these powers. Like, what is this thing that gave him his powers? What keeps talking to him? What does it want? Should he be working with it? You know, all those good questions. And again, those are very valid things he should be figuring out because, yeah, it's great to have the powers. But as I've been saying multiple times now, it's not without a cost. There is something that this creature wants, and he should figure it out and figure out if he's willing to pay it in order to keep those powers and possibly his life, because this thing did save his life. And I'm still not 100% certain that his life is not directly dependent on Yukotoa, because he did bring him back from like a massive hole in his chest and drowning. So like I said, maybe his life is just irrevocably tied to him, I guess is my point, or at least his energy and magic. So yeah, that. Then we had Bo, who is supposed to be going back and figuring out what's happening to Dairon. Of course, through the grapevine, she was able to find out that chances are Dairon was probably not in a good place if she was alive at all. And then we had Molly, who acted like he really didn't care about his past or what Kree had to say, but actually was curious. He just didn't want to necessarily share it with the group, because I do think he's a little scared that maybe what they find out is going to make them think differently of him. And right now, I think he likes everyone kind of thinking him as the playful jester, you know, the playful carnival guy, I guess, for lack of a better term. But is that everyone? Was that kind of the missions of everyone? Yeah, that was pretty much everyone who actually had a mission before they started all of this. So the only ones who really didn't have anything was Jess. You know, Jess was really supposed to just go to her aunt's house and stay protected. And then we know it's just been meandering because she doesn't feel like she has a purpose up until now. But everyone kind of split off into their own groups or individually. And we see that things didn't quite go the way that everyone thought they would as they started to continue on these journeys now, right? Which is very much down the whole idea of destiny, right? They thought they had certain paths, so now destiny has told them that maybe this is a new path they need to walk. So we'll start with Bo. We see that Bo meets with Dairon. Dairon says, look, you know, things went south. Trent's now more powerful than ever. He's taking out Cobalt monks. He's basically let us know that we can't stand in his way anymore. So I gotta lay low. Anybody who might know something has got to lay low. Otherwise, we're gonna end up on the chopping block, quite literally. And she basically tells Bo, you can't come back to the academy at this point, or to the monastery. Was it a monastery? Monk's monastery? Anyway, you can't come back because it's going to be a death sentence if you do. So she tells her, you know, hide the blue, aka take off the uniform and just lay low until I get back to you. And then she lets her know that I can't tell you where I'm going, because that's very smart, that in case, God forbid, something happens to Bo and she's captured, she can't give up the information of anybody else. But yeah, that kind of leaves Bo feeling a little bit directionless because, you know, she's very good at investigating things. She's very perceptive. She really felt like she kind of had like a new mission with this whole thing. Like after she found out that the whole Cobalt Monastery thing was compromised and not necessarily the purest path for her to walk anymore, this new trust that Dairon put in her, I think really made her feel like she was part of something larger and important. But then hearing that, you know, effectively they've lost for the time being, or at least lost the battle as the expression goes, she kind of was meandering a bit. So we see she tried to drown her sorrows in a person, but you know, the lack of hygiene in this group, yikes, a problem. Basically kind of cut that off. That led her to stumbling back onto Ford, which I think that dovetails into it. You know, with Ford, we see that he drops off Jester like he was supposed to. And he's like, look, I got to figure out my ish right now. And I feel like it's something I got to do on my own. So I'm going to leave you. Jess, you know, as I said in the episode, bless her heart, she's been so fortunate to have a sheltered life where she has this brilliant imagination she's been able to explore. But yeah, you know, she's just basically going from one gilded cage to another one, right? She doesn't really want to be there. She's of age now. She's not a child. She wants to get out there and do things, and she wants people. Like, I feel like despite the fact that everybody in her mom's, you know, business knew her well, I don't think any of them are really her friends per se, right? So much as just people her mom worked with. And now she's developing friendships and she's really enjoying that. And she also thinks that the reason people keep wanting to leave her is because of the Traveler, which has been brought up constantly by her since we were introduced to her character. And, you know, for the audience, for people like myself who are not familiar with the campaign, etc., that this is still a big question mark. Is the Traveler real? Is the Traveler actually a god, or is it some form of some race that's maybe you know, immortal, high in magic? You know, kind of like how we saw those in Vox Machina. There was those elves that lived in that realm that were super old and super powerful. Like, is it something like that maybe? And this person, this creature is just only appeared every so often when they need to get help from Jester, or maybe because they really just genuinely like Jester, and then they disappear. And, you know, maybe appeared to Jester when she was so young that she believed him to be a god, and he just kind of went with that. Like, I feel like it's very possible that the Traveler is real. I don't think that Jess is imagining it, but what he is and why he just comes and goes in Jester's life very willy-nilly is very interesting. But anyways, and we don't know anything about Jester's dad. Maybe it's Jester's dad. I don't know. That's an out there, Luke Skywalker type reference. But anyway, so he drops off Jess. Jess is sad to see him go. And then he see that he's trying to figure out how to talk to this creature. And I love that he goes to, what is that? It's the same kind of place that Pike went to in Vox Machina, I think, right? One of those places for paladins. But either way, it's a place of worship. And he's basically saying, like, how do you can communicate with a god if they're communicating with you and you don't seem to be having a two-way conversation? And he's given the advice that it's through elements typically. And obviously water has been ever present ever since he's come back from the dead. So he figured that out, went to the bathhouse because that's a place for water. And I guess considering where they are in Zadesh, there is no like any rivers or lakes nearby for him to use. So I guess that makes sense. And we see that, yeah, it does work. Yukotoa pulls him down the second he decides to go and uses the face of the captain to lower his guard and to kind of like affect him. Like, I feel like that, as I said, from what we've seen, Yukotoa struggles with communicating in a way that Ford understands. It's always one word, right? So I thought maybe using the manifestation of his captain, he'd be able to give him more context or answer more questions. And in a way it did, in the sense of what I picked up from what he said before he decided to show his true form, is that I want anger and I want rage, I want vengeance, I want that energy from you. I need you to tap into your darker energy. And you're not doing it so far, right? So far you're just kind of, walking along doop-de-doo with your bubbly unicorn friend, and you're not doing what I thought you would do, which is, you were stabbed, you were betrayed, you were almost drowned, your captain was, taken out. Like, why are you not more angry? Basically is what Yukotoa was saying. Like, where's the rage, right? So I said that it's giving a little bit of what was going on, I think, with Percy in Vox Machina, as far as having that demon who needed Percy to feed into his more negative, more dark emotions and mindset in order to feed. It feels like Yukotoa might need something like that as well. Again, I don't know if it's the emotion that he needs per se, or the emotion to drive Ford to do what he needs him to do, because he kept saying consume. That is the word we've heard repeatedly. Grow, learn, and consume. Those are the three things we've heard, but consume's definitely been the one we've heard the most. So you see that he showed the ball being like pushed into Ford's body. I thought that actually happened, but it turns out it was just, in the mind. But I'm thinking I'm trying to figure out, maybe Yukotoa is saying he wants to consume Ford. And I said that maybe he wants Ford's body. Like, wherever he is under the sea, I think he's trapped there. But maybe he's thinking that Ford's his way out, and maybe it is through his body. Maybe if he starts eating or ingesting or absorbing these different parts, which I'm assuming, again, this is my assumption, that what he collected in that pile of jewels was in fact a piece of Yukotoa. I think maybe he's thinking if he absorbs it, then maybe he'll be able to take over Ford and be free again. I don't know. That's my working theory. But that's all that he got before Ford got before he was booted out of the vision. And I think it's basically that, well, it's because poor Bo thought he was drowning, but as we as an audience know, he can breathe underwater now, so that would not have been the case. But either way, that triggers a conversation between the two of them, which is interesting because they weren't really ever butting heads, but they are very much in a similar position, which is I kind of like that they broke off different pairs in this episode, by the way, to just get more people getting to know each other and to bond. And in the case of Ford and Bo, both of them are trying to live up to an expectation that's either been set by themselves or someone that they care about or the people that they respect. But either way, both of them feel like they need to prove themselves. And we get Bo being really vulnerable for the first time since we've seen her, admitting the fact that, she maybe stretches the truth about her authority and her influence at the Cobalt, and that she kind of acts like she's got it together when the truth is she feels like she's a screw up, and she's scared that maybe what they said about her was true. My girl Bo has had a lot of people, at least at some point in her head, telling her that she's not as good as she thinks she is and that she's not good enough. And that clearly bothers her more than she lets on. And that's kind of why she overcompensates with the bravado and the arrogance and the, leaping first and thinking later. And, she's starting to recognize that maybe that's not the right way. And that's why I was saying I was so happy in the episode, because that's the first step to her being more open to asking for help and getting help and being less of that person. And, showing the strengths that she has. Because she's like, the way she's like, oh, I just punch people. But it's like, but you punch well. And different pressure points. And you clearly are the decent fighter. And you're super agile. Those are just your physical attributes. You've also shown you've got great deduction skills, great observation skills. You're also very good at kind of cutting through the nonsense when everyone gets distracted. So the point is, she's got strengths. She just maybe hasn't had a chance to play to them before because she's been so focused on proving herself that she kind of didn't think about how she could get help. And even when she said that, it was her fault that the war started, I love that Ford corrected her and was like, girl, you don't have that kind of power, respectfully. You're not that big of a cog in this wheel. So yeah, he kind of brought her back and said, no, you need help. All of us need help. All of us need to work with somebody at some point, even you. And, you know, like you said, for myself, he's like, I need to possibly get help in figuring out this whole thing with this god and my powers, right? He's tried to do it on his own. It isn't going well. So yeah, I do think that especially someone like Caleb, between Caleb and Bo, I think are the best people to help him figure this out, between, you know, because Bo's got the book knowledge from the library and then Caleb's got a vast amount of magical knowledge. So I think between the two of them, they could probably figure out what's going on and what he could possibly do to deal with it going forward. But yeah, very nice moment between the two of them bonding, you know, our two kind of muscly meatheads of the group. And yeah, I think that's gonna make them work a lot better together in the future. And then we saw with Not, as I mentioned, Not didn't really have a mission before this. You know, she's just very excited to be with Caleb and do whatever Caleb wants and help Caleb get his revenge. But Caleb understandably does not want to endanger her. So, you know, he's still got a lot of walls up, a lot of defenses because of the, you know, the level of betrayals he's experienced. And, you know, he says to Not, like, why are you here? Like, what is your purpose? Like, didn't you have something to do before you met me? Like, why are you actually here with me right now? And Not kind of lets him know, like, there's no angle, there's nothing in this for me. I just genuinely, I care about you. I think we're friends and I want to be there for you. And we know from the episode where we heard Caleb's story that Not takes her connection with Caleb very seriously. A lot of transference, which we'll learn more about whenever we get her story. But yeah, for now, right now, those emotions are being connected to Caleb. So anyway, she goes off, and when she realizes that she's been ditched by Caleb, we see it's a huge blow to her self-esteem. And, you know, it's already pretty damaged when we met her. And she kind of just goes on a bit of a bender, right? She's been drinking the whole time, but I said in the episode that I do think that Not is drinking less. And I think she was, but then, you know, to the point of drinking liquor off the ground, like, that's a low. That is definitely a low to be at that place. And breaking the glass mirror, again, that's a very symbolic of self-loathing, not being able to look yourself in the eye, you know, shame, all kinds of things. So anyways, we see that she goes out and just tries to get herself arrested, tries to reinforce this negative self-talk that she's telling herself. And thankfully, that's when my girl Jess pops in and manages to save her from herself and gives her a mission, gives her something to do, but basically lets her know you're not alone. Like, I don't think you're scary. I know this isn't the real you, Not. So let's go do something positive with your time short of doing all this. And then we join, you know, the two of them do their little the two of them end up doing the little side mission that Jess has created for herself to prove that the Traveler is real. And it doesn't quite work out as planned, but I think the point of that was that her and, you know, Jess got to bond a little bit more. They both got to express a little bit, well, mostly Jess. She got to kind of express the fact that she thinks she's a weirdo, and she feels like that's why she has no friends and she doesn't want to be the weirdo anymore, but she also believes that the Traveler is real. So yeah, I like that she had that vulnerability with Not, who's the last person. I mean, Not will say something rude, but she won't judge her. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was cute to see the two girlies be cute and very bondy in this episode. And then that kind of segues into the other kind of larger part of this as far as the group, and that was Caleb. Caleb, as we see, I already talked about how he tried to dismiss Not so she wouldn't be directly involved in his hijinks, and obviously he just didn't want her to be hurt because he was not expecting to come back from his revenge mission. And we see that he gets tracked. Unfortunately, before he can even do anything, he gets tracked by his former, what do you call it, love triangle, his former throuple partners. And we see finally actually that, I always forget the girl's name, but she tells Ed Wolf that, you know, she finally tells him about the fact that she found Brandon, that he's nearby, and she's like, we need to deal with him, right? And the way that Ed Wolf answers initially, I get the impression that he wants to take him out. And I'm like, okay, that might explain a little bit as to why Astrid, that's her name, why Astrid didn't want to tell him initially. But I think she just needed time to process on her own, maybe. And now that she sees, like, the way that she was talking about Trent becoming more powerful, getting the right hand to the king and basically being invincible now, it didn't sound like she was, you know, on board or that she was in admiration. It sounded like she was like, oh crap, right? I do think that her and Bran are much more aligned in the way that they think versus potentially Ed Wolf, but we'll have to see because Ed Wolf doesn't say much. But anyway, I don't think she likes that. I don't think she likes the idea that there's no checks or balances for Trent. And anyway, I think when she realized how powerful Trent was getting and the fact that them trying to leave or escape might be virtually impossible now, especially if he's got the king's ear like this, I think she just figured we got to deal with this whole Bren situation then, because that's kind of a loose end and potentially something that could come back to us. So we see that they track Bren down pretty quickly, because I think that Astrid, out of the two of them, I think Astrid definitely knows Bren the best. And yeah, they find him, and of course they're upset. They're like, why would you go after Trent? That's silly. Like, you should have disappeared if you had the opportunity. And Caleb says, like, I can't. Like, we have to stop him. Like, it's not going to stop. If you think it's just going to stop with the Kryn, you're nuts. Like, Trent is a megalomaniac and a narcissist. He will absolutely burn through everybody, as long as he's on the top of it all, right? It's power that he's after at all costs. And we don't hear any denials from either of them, which is, telling. But either way, they're like, you can't stop him. And of course, we hear Astrid say, you haven't been around. You don't know how powerful he's gotten since you left. And she basically also kind of hints at the fact that, he left and left them to have to do all the horrible things without him. So he doesn't understand what's going down and what's, the levels that have been crossed since his departure. But we see that he just gets, she gets an apology, a genuine apology, because I do think that we haven't gotten into the complexities of it, but I do think the relationship between the three of them was, shall we say, complicated. I do think there was genuine care. I think that there was genuine affection, but I also, like I said, think it's just a weird kind of magical trauma bond that the three of them have too. This an unhealthy one. And so anyway, that happens, and then we see that Ed Wolf definitely has the ability. They have the drop. They could have killed him, and he doesn't resist, right? We already know that Caleb's been basically thinking he deserves to die ever since he sobered up from killing his parents, and they can't do it, right? And again, I don't know if Ed Wolf really didn't want to do it, or if he knew that doing it would upset Astrid. Like, he's the only question mark for me, to be perfectly honest. Astrid, I think, has been much more transparent through her facial expressions and body language about how she feels about Caleb. I don't know about Ed Wolf, but they decide to spare him, and they say that they owe him that much, which is an interesting expression, considering that, again, there's a lot of gaps in the story between what we saw in that episode and now. But yeah, they both say that they feel like they owed him one. And, that's kind of where they leave it. But I don't think, that's going to be the end of it. I do think that I just get a sneaking suspicion Astrid's going to end up being more of a loose end, in the sense of, I feel like seeing Bren again, I feel like it's just going to start stirring some things in her, since she's already feeling some type of way about Trent's ascension to power. So yeah, we'll have to see, but that's kind of what ended up happening there. So I think Caleb's a little confused, because I think it was very certain he'd end up dead at the hands of those two, but they're letting him go. I think has probably made things a little bit, it might have muddied the waters a little bit as far as this whole revenge plot. But either way, he ended up coming back, because what else is he going to do? If he's not on the course of revenge anymore, then he's got to find something new to do. And we see that he comes back later, waits for Nott, apologizes as he should, and then says, hey, like, maybe we should just run away. And we see that unfortunately that's not in the cards, because, everyone's been rallied. And that rallying, of course, was another part of what Ford said, which I love that, when he said that let's prove that we're not screw-ups by actually doing this job and getting our hands on this beacon, which is quite literally the one thing that may stop a war and God knows what else, right? So that's kind of what ends up happening. The gang all ends up back in the room, and I guess they're going to take this job, see if they can get their hands on this artifact and do it quickly, because yeah, they're going to that power just needs to be out of Trent's hands first and foremost. So that was the gang. A lot of character development this episode, which I greatly enjoyed. And then the other few things that are very integral to the plot that we see, with Essek, his mom is gone. She overheard the conversation, found out her son had stolen the beacon, and she decided that, okay, this has gone too far. She didn't realize that his desire to have more time with her had gone to this point. So she told the queen about her Typhros. She's like, I know it's got to happen, because she does have a belief system in the religion. It's not just about, the reincarnation. She actually believes in the faith, and she still feels like there's hope for her son to believe in the faith as well. And we see that she, once she tells the queen arranges for her execution, and she's made peace with it. And I do think she made peace with it for a long time. I don't think she ever thought she wasn't going to be killed. I think she just wanted to enjoy as much time with her son as she could before that happened. And we see that Essek finds out. He's devastated, because he feels like we know that the last episode that he was in the other kingdom, he figured out an equation that he thinks would fix his mom's Typhros, but she would need to get back to the beacon to do that. But anyways, now hearing that she's given up effectively, he is devastated. And, she's like, she's very positive. She's like, oh, don't worry, you'll see. Once you finally believe in the faith, you'll understand all this. And he's like, as far as I'm concerned, this faith is the reason I'm losing you. So no, right? He's like, I will not believe in that, because it's what's taking you from me. And, it's kind of sad in a way. Like, his mom was very dismissive of his very real concerns. And that does happen sometimes with very religious people. Like, they don't always want to hear from their loved ones their very valid sometimes concerns and questions. But anyways, we see that she just kind of is like, anyways, you'll get over it. And then on top of it, when she plans her death for that very day, she asks him to do it. And I said it in the episode, that was beyond messed up. It was extraordinarily selfish of her to do. And maybe it's because she's not in her right mind, or maybe she underestimated just how much her son, how much resentment he has for this faith. But there wasn't a more wrong decision she could have made as far as ever having a hope of him believing in this faith than her asking him to be the one to take her life, when she knows that he did something as crazy as taking the beacon out of the nation and giving it to their enemies just to save her. What in her mind made her think that Essek would be okay with taking her life? But again, as I said, she was very dismissive of Essek's, of Essek, actually. It's just, and period. She was very dismissive of Essek in general. So yeah, I guess that's why she really just didn't think that through. And, as I said, it just was a horrible place to put him in, because he loves her so much. That's her final request. He doesn't want to be a dick in her final moments and be like, no, I'm not giving this to you. But at the same time, he doesn't want to do this. It literally is everything that he's against, that he's been fighting against. It's shattering his hope. It's shattering his soul to do this. And so it was a very incredibly selfish thing for her to ask of him. And I said it as it was happening. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're creating a villain right now, man. And I'm right. Like, something fundamentally broke in him when he had to do that, because now all that death, all of these ripple effects of him getting the beacon out of the country, she just effectively made them for naught by making him do that. Like, fine, he couldn't control her telling the queen, but making him be the one, it's literally like saying, oh, all those people you ended up getting killed, as collateral damage, as necessary sacrifices for this. Doesn't mean anything. Just go ahead and end it now, right? So yeah, I think something very deeply broke in him. And we saw that the ripple effect of that is that he ended up turning on a lifelong friend of his mom's and of him, accusing him of stealing the beacon, having him executed on the spot, and now basically continuing to lie to the queen. Like, in one hand, I can't blame him. It is self-preservation. Right? Because it was going to be him. Someone had to have their heads roll for this, but very low for him to do that, especially considering that person granted him so much mercy and so much kindness. To do that was kind of horrible. But as I said, I kind of understand that in his mind, if he didn't do it, he was going to be the one executed. He's not ready for that. Right? And probably maybe a good thing, not a good thing, like, how do I put this? Maybe not the worst, let's put it that way, considering the fact that we now know that the queen also has Typhros. But of course, she's not going to tell anybody that. That hypocrisy is about to come in real quick with her, because she's not about to let herself go. Here's what I'm considering is going to happen as well. He already, even though Essek already has the queen's backing to go in and try to take the beacon by force, if that wavers in any way, if he ever figures out that she's got Typhros, that will be the bargaining chip he can use. Like, I think I can fix it. So continue to back me. We're good. So point is Essek is in a very good position at the moment with his people, which is a very good thing, because yeah, he knows now that he can't trust Trent. So anyway, that's what's going on there, which is kind of a sad ending in one way, but I guess we're about to see a not so nice side of Essek arise out of all this, potentially. And the last thing we saw, of course, was with this lady, this friend of Trent's, another wizard, who is very interested in what Trent is up to. She knows she's very smart. She knows enough, unlike the poor pink lady who had her head roll. She knew enough not to cross Trent directly, because she knows he's no fool, not even about his powers, but about the manipulation powers he's got up here. But she also knows that it's not smart to have Trent go completely unchecked as far as power. She's not about that life. So she's already the one who put out the job for getting the beacon, but we see she's also looking into other sources of power from the looks of things. And as I said, towards the end, it looks like she's tapping into something that's similar to potentially what has happened to Molly, because that eye that showed up in her hand and then the eye color looks exactly like Molly when he switches into demon mode. So the plot is thickening, guys. We got a few more players on the chessboard. Whew, it's getting messy out there, but I'm enjoying it. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me, and I hope you made it all the way to the end of this. This review is a little bit longer than most, but I think there was quite a few things to cover in this one, but everything's moving along nicely and I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching along. Please show some love if you enjoyed what you saw, and I will see you in the next one.